Hi everyone and welcome to week 2 of summer. We're going to begin in child's pose. So big toes together, knees just a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and allow your sit bones to draw towards the heels. Forehead rests on the mat. And close your eyes over. And just allow every muscle in your face to relax. And allow your jaw to relax. To allow for a slight parting in the teeth. And feel your back body open. Feeling a slight openness in the hips. And you may notice the movement in your chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Noticing your chest touching your thighs. And just really exaggerating that movement to get deeply into the breath. Deepen each inhale and each exhale. Creating that wave-like sound on the beach on a nice summer's day. And in this class we'll be creating a warmth in the body. It's really important that we use our breath to find that energy and create the heat. And as you take your next exhale, you're going to come all the way into cat, rounding through your back in an all fours position. As you inhale, shift your shoulders forward and then drop the head. Gaze up towards the ceiling in a gentle upward facing dog. Find yourself back in child's pose as big toes come together, sit bones draw towards the heels. Tuck your toes under. And as you inhale, slowly uncurl your spine to come and sit back on your heels. Rise arms overhead, interlace the fingers and reach the palms up towards the ceiling. Just feel a nice stretch through the wrists. Reach over to the right side. Come back to the center, over to the left, and back to the center. Take the hands down in front of the heart center. Release them down onto the mat, untuck the toes so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Exhale, coming back into cat. Inhale, shift the weight of the shoulders forward. Coming into upward facing dog, hips drop towards the mat, shoulders come away from the ears. And then come back into child's pose. Once again, tuck the toes under just to stretch through the feet, working into the fascia of the feet. Slowly uncurl the spine to come and sit on the heels. Take the hands out to either side. We're going to come into eagle arms, Garudasana arms. So right arm comes on top of the left, pretending you're hugging yourself here. Now reach the palms up, reach fingertips up towards the ceiling and either bring the tops of the hands together or wrap the forearms round so the palms come together. Lift the elbows slightly to open through the upper back. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Then as you exhale, slowly begin to bow the head, draw the elbows in towards the torso, but keep drawing your sit bones towards the heels. So working into the upper back as well as into the feet. And then just reach the fingertips back up towards the ceiling as you unravel the arms. Palms come together in front of the chest. Release the tops of the feet down on the mat, then drop the hands down on the mat, Balasana. Exhale into your cat position, really creating that arch through the back. Shift the weight of the shoulders forward so they come beyond the wrists. Drop the hips, gaze up towards the ceiling. And exhale, finding yourself back in Vinyasa child's pose. Tuck the toes back under. Inhale and curl the spine. Hands come out to the side, open through the chest, open through the heart. Left arm comes on top of the right, again pretending you're hugging yourself, fingertips come behind. Now reach fingertips up towards the ceiling, eagle arms, wrapping them round, pressing the forearms together, pressing the hands together. Lift the elbows slightly to create more of an openness. And then as you exhale, begin to draw the elbows in towards the torso, gently dropping the head. Continue to press forearms in together. And then just very slowly uncurl the spine. Reach fingertips up, unravel the arms. Palms come together in front of the heart center. Release them down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. And you might want to just give your feet a little tap there, just easing that back. And then breathe in, coming back into your cat. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees about an inch off the mat, holding it here. So really thinking about pressing into the hands, getting that nice arch through the back, and dropping the hips. And then slowly begin to straighten the legs, sending the heels down towards the mat. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Might feel nice to pedal through the feet. Softening into one knee and then the other. Just easing through the hamstrings. Easing through the calves. As you inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet, then lift the gaze, bend the knees, bring yourself through to the front of the mat. Exhale in the forward fold. Inhale as you uncurl your spine. You're going to take arms overhead, interlace the fingers, reach the palms up towards the ceiling. Again, just taking a moment to stretch through the wrists. Try not to flare your rib cage out. Instead, draw your rib cage down. Tuck your lower belly in. Drop your tailbone down towards the mat. As you exhale, begin to fold from the hips, almost like you're swallow diving here. So we're going to, if you need to, bend your knees. We're going to take your hands underneath your feet. So the ends of the toes come to meet the wrists. And you should feel a nice stretch through the wrists here and through the forearms. Just allow the head to drop towards the mat. And just trying to put a bit of pressure, a bit of weight into your feet to press into the hands to create more of a stretch. And at the same time, easing through the hamstrings. And then just slowly release your hands down onto the mat. Step back into plank and lower the knees back. Easy chaturanga, bend your elbows. Keeping the elbows tucked in towards the chest, lower the chest halfway down, hold it here for a breath in. And for a breath out. Inhale, coming into a gentle upward facing dog. Knees stay on the mat for now. Exhale down into child's pose. Coming into cat as you arch through your back. Tuck the toes under your knees, come off the mat, just about an inch off, holding it here. Continuing to press into the hands to create that nice C curve with the back. Begin to straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Holding it here for a few breaths. For just finding space in the body. Tuning into any niggles. Any areas of tightness. And sending your breath to those areas to work on creating an openness. And then from here we're going to lift the gaze. Bend the knees. Step through to the front of the mat. Exhale as you come into a forward fold. And then inhale to rise up to standing arms overhead, interlace the fingers, reach the palms up. And exhale to fold forward. Step back into plank. Right knee comes in towards the chest. And you're going to scoop the knee in towards the nose to create an arch through the back. Pressing firmly into the hands. Now one-legged plank, extend the leg back behind. Draw the knee back in towards the nose, hold it here for a breath in. As you breathe out, release the foot between the hands. Inhale, come into a high lunge. Palms facing inwards. Now come into a cactus arms, top of the arms are in line with the shoulders, forearms are parallel with the head. Maybe come into a gentle back bend as you open through the chest, open through the heart. Release the hands either side of the front foot. Come into a standing split, so maybe coming onto your fingertips here, all the weight shifts into the right foot. Lift the left foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Release the foot to the back of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge. Hands either side of the foot. Sit back into plank. Now left knee comes in towards the chest, scooping it up towards the nose. One-legged plank, extending the leg back, keeping the foot off the mat. Knee in towards the chest. Place the foot through between the hands. Press into the feet, rise up into your high lunge. Cactus arms open through the chest. Release the hands either side of the left foot. Standing split, extend the right foot up towards the sky, open through the hips. Release the foot to the back of the mat as you bend into the front knee, coming into a runner's lunge. Now step back into plank. Lower into Chaturanga Dandasana, half plank. And then inhale back into plank. So do 2 more of these. Exhale into Chaturanga, making sure your elbows are tucked in towards the chest. Inhale, plank. And again, exhale. And inhale. Find yourself in downward facing dog. Maybe stepping the feet forward slightly. Lifting the gaze, bend the knees. Jump through to a seated position on the mat. Take your feet forward. Lift the feet off the mat. As we come into Navasana, extend the fingertips forward. Now lower back. So back and feet are a couple of inches off the mat. Really getting into the lower abs. Holding it here. Try and extending your fingertips further forward as we create an arch through the back. Draw knees in towards the chest. Cross the feet, hands down on the mat, step back into plank. Right knee comes in towards the chest. Scoop the knee up towards the nose. Now take the knee towards the left elbow. Knee towards the right elbow. Step the foot to the outside of the right hand. Lower the back knee down onto the mat. Coming into lizard pose, so just knowing your limitations here, bending your elbows, sending the forearms in the direction of the mat. And just holding it here for a few breaths. Making sure your knee is pointing in the same direction as the toes. Opening through the hip. Maybe feeling a stretch in the glutes. Take the hands below the shoulders, press into the hands, straighten the arms. Take the left hand a little bit further out to the side. Lift the right hand up towards the ceiling, open through the chest. Release the hand back down onto the mat. Tuck back toes under, lift the knee off the mat. Left hand, lift foot to the outside of the left hand. Sink down into Vinyasa, elbows to the insides of the knees, palms together, open through the chest. Place your hands on the mat. Jumping or stepping back into plank. Left knee in towards the chest. Scoop it up to the nose. Send the knee towards the right elbow. And then over to the left elbow. Step the foot to the outside of the hands. Lower the back knee down onto the mat. Lizard pose, elbows come towards the mat. Keep the back of the neck long. Sending your breath to the hip. Feeling that openness. And with each exhale, just sinking a little bit further down into the posture. Hands below the shoulders, straighten the arms. Take the right hand a little bit further out to the side, press into that hand, lift the left hand up towards the ceiling as you open through the chest. And then release it back down onto the mat. the hand shoulder width apart, back toes tucked under, lift the knee off the mat. Step forward into Malasana, low squat. Elbows to the insides of the knees, palms together, lift through the chest. Maybe just rocking from side to side. And then release the hands down onto the mat. Straighten the legs. Shuffle the feet in together. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Arms overhead, palms together. And take the thumbs to heart center. Inhale, extend the hands out to either sides. Eagle arms, right hand on top of left. And reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Wrapping your forearms round. Lift the right leg off the mat. Either wrapping it round or just placing the foot to the outside of the left foot. Sinking further down into the knees. Lifting the elbows higher to create more of an openness through the back body, working into the shoulders. Sleeping eagle now, elbows come in towards the knees. Release the head down. So really engaging through your core. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Using your foundation. And creating that nice C curve with the back. Now begin to unravel the arms, unravel the legs, step all the way back into warrior two, sink down into the front knee. Front thigh parallel with the mat. Peaceful warrior, right hand slides down the right leg, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Feel that lovely stretch through the left side of the torso. Keep sinking down into the front knee. Inhaling back into warrior two. Exhaling, extended side angle, elbow onto the thigh. Right arm overhead. Inhale back into warrior two. Extend the left hand further forward, place it down onto the mat, a few inches away from the foot. Half moon pose, begin to take the right leg off the mat, send all of your weight into the left foot. Right hand comes up towards the ceiling. Flexing the right foot. And trying to stack the right hip on top of the left. Now release the hand down onto the mat. Swivel your hips so they're facing towards the mat. Lift the right foot up towards the ceiling, standing split. Bend down into the front knee. Step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. Hands either side of the foot. Step back into plank. From here you're going to shift the shoulders beyond the wrists. And then draw back. And again, shift them beyond the wrists. And back. One more time forward. And back. Lower the chest halfway down towards the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Tops of the arms parallel with the mat, 90-degree angle with the elbows. Now lower all the way down. Cobra, so hands below the shoulders, elbows tucked in. Press into the hands, gently lift the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Taking a moment to release through the core. Now press into the hands and knees, back into pose of a child. Taking one exhale here. Come into cat, arch through the back. Tuck toes under, lift the knees about an inch off the mat. Continue to arch through the back. Continue to press firmly into the hands. Straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Scoop in the belly up, arch through the back. Press firmly into the hands. Step the foot through between the hands, press into the feet, rise up into a high lunge. Press the palms up towards the ceiling. So imagine you're pressing the sky away from you. Feel that stretch through the wrists. Now just come into a neutral position. Fly into warrior three, shift all the way into the right foot. Extend the fingertips forward, lift the left foot off the mat. Activate through your back leg. Now reach the fingers up to the sky without touching the left foot on the mat. Take the thigh parallel with the mat. Bring the hands together in front of the chest. Come into standing pigeon, so begin to bend into the knee. Take the ankle on top of the thigh and sink further down. Try to peel that left knee open, directing it towards the mat as we open through the hip and stretch the groin. Maybe sinking a little bit further. Slowly release the foot. Inhale, Utkatasana. Straighten the legs, Tadasana. Take the hands out to either side. Eagle arms this time, left hand on top. So again, pretend you're hugging yourself. Reach fingertips up towards the sky. Tops of the hands together, wrap the forearms all the way around. Lift the left foot off the mat. Wrapping it around the leg. And sink down into the knee. Lift the elbows slightly higher. Sink further down. And just really focusing here. Hugging your thigh bones inwards. Hugging your forearms inwards. Now begin to take the elbow towards the thigh. Drop the head. Arch through the back. Really compressing inwards. Compressing your thigh bones inwards, compressing your forearms inwards, and compressing the shoulders inwards. And then begin to unravel, step all the way back into Warrior Two. Palms facing down towards the mat, just checking your alignment, making sure heels are in line. Maybe sinking a little bit further into the front knee. Peaceful warrior, hand slides down the back leg. Front hand comes up towards the sky. Still sinking into the front knee. Lift back into Warrior Two, making sure you're lifting up into your arches. Elbow into the thigh. Opposite arm overhead. Extended side angle. Reaching away with your fingertips. Inhale, Warrior Two. Extend the hand forward. Place it down onto the mat. Come into half moon pose. So hopping the back foot forwards and then lifting it off the mat. Peeling your hip open. Left hand comes up towards the sky. Flexing the foot. Firming up through the thigh. Release the hand down onto the mat. Square off your hips. And lift the left foot up towards the ceiling. Standing split. Release the foot all the way to the back of the mat. Finding yourself in a runner's lunge, hands either side of the front foot. Step back into plank. Shoulders come forward. And then come back. Forward. And back. One more time, shift forward. And then back. Lower the chest halfway down towards the mat, elbows tucked in. Hold it here for breath in. And then lower all the way down. Hands below the shoulders, elbows tucked in towards the chest. Lift up into cobra as you peel the torso off the mat. Exhale, child's pose. Take one inhale here. And then on your next exhale, round through the back as you come into cat. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees about an inch off the mat. Engage through your core. Straighten the legs downward facing dog. Lift the left foot up towards the sky. Knee comes in towards the nose. Arch through the back. Step the foot through between the hands. Press into the feet, rise up into your high lunge. Press the hands up towards the ceiling. Pushing the sky away from you. Feel that stretch through the wrists, stretch through the forearms. And then reach fingertips up towards the sky. Fly into Warrior Three. Back foot comes off the mat. Hips facing towards the mat. Activate through both legs, both your standing leg and your balanced leg. Now reach the fingertips up towards the sky, thigh becomes parallel with the mat, hands come together in front of the chest. Standing pigeon, ankle onto the thigh, sink down into the knee. I'm really thinking about peeling that hip open. Thinking about drawing the left knee towards the mat. Maybe sinking a little bit further into that knee. And then release the foot down onto the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose, glide the fingertips along the mat, reach them up towards the sky. Come off the heels. So you're balancing on the balls of the feet. And then take the torso parallel with the mat, keeping those heels up. Maybe sinking a little bit further into the knees. Maybe bending a little bit further from the hips. And then slowly begin to draw your sit bones all the way down. And come into Navasana. Lift the chest. Exhale, Ardha Navasana. Feet just hit and back just off the mat. Hold it here. And then lower the back all the way down. Extend the palms up towards the ceiling. Again, imagining that you're pressing the palms away, pressing the sky away. And then you're going to keep the big toes together. Bend the knees, take the knees towards the tops of the arms. And then lift the head and the shoulders off the mat. So you're getting this connection with the tops of the arms and the knees. Pressing the hands up towards the sky. Pressing the sky away from you. Creating that C shape with the back. As you engage through the core. Maybe lift the chest higher, lift the shoulders higher, lift the head higher. And just a couple more breaths here. Finding the strength in your core. As you exhale, extend the hands and the feet away. And then draw knees in towards the chest. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs. And just roll through the spine. Coming on to the sit bones each time you come up, and arch through the back each time you come down. Place the hands onto the mat, take the feet behind, and make your way into plank. And then slowly lower the chest all the way down. Coming into Sphinx pose, so forearms in the mat. Making sure forearms are parallel. Press into the forearms, lift through the chest. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep lifting. Drawing the shoulders away from you, trying to create as much space as you can between the ears and the shoulders. Now tuck the toes under, gaze towards your belly button, lift the hips off the mat and come into a forearm plank. Firm up through your thighs and engage the glutes. And begin to walk your feet towards the elbows. Tilting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Coming into dolphin. Descending your heels towards the mat. Now take note to right where your thumbs are. And then draw sit bones back up towards the ceiling. And again there. And up. 3 more times, exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Now press firmly into your hands, come into downward facing dog. Lift the gaze, bend the knees, and come through to the front of the mat. When you reach the front of the mat, exhale into a forward fold. Inhale as you come up to standing. Arms overhead, palms together. Thumbs to heart center. Inhale, arms back overhead. Exhale to fold. Hands come down onto the mat, bending your knees as much as you have to. Now for the start of the show, coming into Vinyasa. So we're going to bend the knees, connecting the knees with the tops of the arms. Now shift the shoulders forwards. Send all of your weight into the hands. And making sure you're creating that arch through the back. Take 1 foot off. Maybe try for 2. Holding it here. Pressing firmly into the hands. Engage through the core. Continuing to breathe. And then release down. So even if you got there for a second, let's just try next time, seeing if you can maybe hold it for 2. So we are going to give this another go, so placing your hands on the mat, making sure you're spreading your fingers. Now take the shoulders above the wrists, knees, press into the tops of the arms. Maybe take 1 foot off, and then the other. Continuing to breathe. Engaging through the core. Pressing the knees into the tops of the arms. Arching through the back. And then slowly release the feet down. Step back into plank. And lower the chest all the way down. And we're taking your hands just a little bit wider than the mat. Elbows above the wrists. Exalted Cobra breath. Press into the fingertips, lift through the chest. Release through the core. Slowly release the chest down. Hands below the shoulders. Make your way into child's pose. You might want to take your hands behind just to release through the shoulders. And take the hands back forward. Come into all fours. Take the feet out to the side, come to sit on the mat. And then take the feet out in front. Extend feet forward. Bend the right knee, place the foot to the outside of the left thigh. Take the right hand to the base of the spine, left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbow, elbow comes to the outside of the knee, and just come into a gentle twist. Gazing beyond the right shoulder. Keep sitting nice and tall. Chin parallel with the mat. And exhaling one more time, just twisting round a little bit further. And slowly release to the center. Now place the left hand to the base of the spine, right arm to the inside of the thigh, gently twist. And more open twist this time, so feeling that openness through the chest. Gazing beyond the left shoulder. And now release back to the center. Allow the right foot to meet the left. Now bend the left knee, placing the foot to the outside of the thigh. Left hand comes to the base of the spine, right hand to the ceiling, bend the elbow, elbow to the outside of the thigh. Twist round. Almost feeling your rib cage wrapping around your spine. Keep drawing the left shoulder away from the ear. And release back to the center, right hand to the base of the spine, left arm to the inside of the thigh and twist round. And reaching the crown of the head to the sky. And release back to the center, allow the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lift fingertips up towards the ceiling, preparing for Paschimottanasana. So imagine I'm pulling your fingertips forward, hinging from the hips, keeping length through the spine. And release the hands. And just taking them wherever feels comfortable for you. Finding that place of comfort and staying here for a few breaths. Maybe closing your eyes up. Just to create that feeling of drawing inwards. Folding inwards. With every inhale, you're almost coming out of the posture. And with every exhale, you're sinking further into it. Feel a real stretch through the hamstrings, through the sacrum. And then just slowly release. Cross the feet, come into Sukhasana. And place the hands and the knees around the thighs and just allow your eyes to close over. Just taking a moment to acknowledge the strength, both internally and externally. And if you're at the beginning of your day, try carrying that strength through the rest of the day. And if you're at the end of the day, I'm sure you'll sleep well. Take the arms overhead, bring the palms together, allow the thumbs to rest in the crown of the head. Take them between the eyebrows to the third eye and to the heart center. Gently bow your head. Om Shanti. And thank you all so much for practicing with me. If you didn't manage to get crow this time, revisit the class and try it next time. And even if you manage to hold it for a second, that's absolutely fantastic. Well done. And thank you for choosing to practice with me. I hope to see you next time.